New South Wales underperforming Police Minister Yasmin Catley has put her foot in it again. You'll recall her less than admirable performance concerning anti-Semitic protesters that had the Jewish community up in arms. She's under pressure with calls for her resignation or sacking, with allegations she made misleading remarks about the death of Claire Nowland. And she now stands accused of inciting climate activists to block the world's largest coal port, the port of Newcastle. The Daily Telegraph reports protesters will spend 30 hours this weekend in canoes and kayaks on the water, blocking shore access to ships that are carrying coal. So what is the Police Minister's response to that? This is what Yasmin Catley had to say. I applaud people for getting involved. I think it's important that people are having these discussions. We all know where things are headed. What an utterly irresponsible response. I'll be talking about that with Ian Plimer a little later in the program. But before that, we again saw students protesting against the only real democracy in the Middle East today. This time it was in Sydney. These high school and university students were marching against a nation defending itself against the barbarity of Hamas. And when a lone man holding an Israeli flag appeared, well, guess what happened? Yep, New South Wales police bundled him away.
You're holding my hand. Take your hands off me. I will walk down. I will walk peacefully. Do not touch me.
We've seen that before, haven't we? And we saw all sorts of disturbing and sometimes comically clueless antics in the Melbourne protest yesterday. Here are kids yelling Allahu Akbar in the middle of the Melbourne CBD before blocking traffic. And of course, there were the all too familiar cries of "from the river to the sea," a call that would see the elimination of the only Jewish state.
Security were left scrambling as Melbourne Central was occupied. Kids packed every corner of the main foyer, surrounding an image of a watermelon, a symbol that shares its colours with the flag of Palestine. Fresh from class and many still in uniform.
From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free.
But don't you dare suggest these kids should be in school. No, the TikTok generation understand the complexities of Middle East politics. Just ask them.
Well, I think teenagers are quite savvy in politics. I think those adults that aren't really well versed in politics should maybe pick up a book, because I certainly have. And I know that with my knowledge, that I'm doing is right.
And then there was this student in Melbourne who declared, I think Hamas are doing a good job. And she also said, I don't think Israel should really exist. We won't show you the footage. She is only 16 years old. She is in Melbourne. Imagine if you are a Jewish student at a school she attends. This is why I wrote this week that Premier Jacinta Allan failed a test of leadership on this issue. The Victorian Premier should have been clear in stating that students should not be taking part in divisive, ill-advised political rallies during school hours, whether it's pushing catastrophist climate change prophecies or protesting against Israel. Children shouldn't be skipping school to become the useful idiots of political activists. But instead of delivering the simple message that school kids are expected to be in school on a school day, Premier Jacinta Allan initially defended the rights of students to protest on consecutive weeks. She said, being able to come together and hold a rally, a peaceful rally, depending on the issue that you're concerned about or the issue that you're exercised about, that's a fundamental principle of our democracy that must not and should not change. I mean, what a mealy-mouthed response at a time when real leadership was required. Under pressure, the Premier did this week moderate her position, but the damage was done. Now, if these kids feel that strongly about this issue, then surely they can protest after school or on the weekend. After all, we've had pro-Palestinian rallies, I should call them anti-Israeli rallies, every weekend in Melbourne and Sydney for the past 6 weeks. Good leadership requires strength and moral clarity. And on this issue, Premier Jacinta Allan has displayed neither.